Welcome, my name is Derek Kelly, joined as always, Lee Harnish. I am the CEO of Home Advocates, and today is 5/5/2022. Welcome to the coaching call.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. Morning, everyone. We have 21 blackjack, 21 participants, 21 agents, investors, brokers, regular advocates, trying to learn how to talk to these homeowners. And I'd like to start with a quote. I'm going to start this Thursday, every Thursday moving forward, with just maybe an inspirational quote that I've heard. See if you can guess it. It is a famous quote.
Let's see.
And I'm going to kind of put a little
Contest, I'll give a free half hour to anybody who gets it.
I'll put an advocacy sling. I'm going to say advocacy is a privilege. Embrace it. It's a quote that's combined with what we do. Anyone know who I derived that quote from? I combined it with my quote and theirs. Anybody? Advocacy is a privilege. Embrace it.
I have no clue.
No idea?
I'm offering a free hour to anybody
It's
who
a
gets
sports figure. I'll give you a clue.
Well, if knowing you, it's probably Brady.
It's not Tom Brady.
All right, well.
Okay.
That
Anybody?
eliminates
Don't
one.
Google it. Please don't Google. The honor code. Yogi? No.
That would be good hitting.
Advocacy is a privilege. Embrace it. Anybody?
Get an hour with me. I'm down.
Okay. Let's see.
We'll rewrite your marketing for an hour if you get it. I have no clue.
I changed the first word. And I'll give you that's it. No more help.
And to quote Brendan, it would be good hitting beats good pitching.
Yes.
And
Kobe, no.
And vice versa. And vice versa.
Although that's close. You're close.
Oh, it's basketball.
It's not basketball.
Whoa.
I'm giving all sorts of quotes
yeah,
here.
you are.
It's not Brady.
Biden.
Biden.
He's a robot currently, Isabel. Haven't you heard?
Good one.
He's a robot. He was tied up in the basement.
Lee.
Not Lee.
It wasn't Lee.
Lee is I wrote shitty books.
Well, you are an athlete. I guess you would be in the sports world a little kind of 1 foot in.
Yeah, 1 foot.
Yeah.
You can Google me on that one.
All right.
I was thinking about it the other day while people are putting in answers. If I actually did a show
we got
like
a couple in.
Hot Ones or something.
Yeah.
We'll
give you 30 more seconds.
Can you imagine what people can Google on me at some point?
I know. Yeah. Advocacy is a privilege. Embrace it. Embrace it.
Oh, it's a good group.
All right.
You got a big group.
Okay. Nobody's
getting it.
Nobody got it.
All right. Flip it out.
Billie
Not
Jean
doing
King.
An extra hour today.
Billie Jean King once said, "Pressure is a privilege. Embrace it." I like the quote because in the heat of the battle, you're gonna feel pressure. There's no crying in it.
There's no crying in advocacy.
Thank you, Dawn. I love it.
That would be
so
Hanks,
it doesn't matter if she said it and she beat. Everyone knows the deal with her, a legend, pioneer. Beat Bobby Riggs, Battle of the Sexes, all that. And I just watched the movie a couple weeks ago, and it was great. There was a little thing. I just actually, you know what? You got us the Paramount or one of the things, and I love The Odd Couple because we are definitely the odd couple living together, working. How can two men share an office / apartment without driving each other crazy? So I watched a couple episodes of The Odd Couple, and Billie Jean King was on and Bobby Riggs was on. They guest starred on.
Bobby Riggs was not her caliber.
I know.
Ever. And they gave her the short court and they gave him the long court.
Mm-hmm.
That's not.
But they played some ping pong and Oscar and Felix. It was great. It was a good episode. But I love the quote when I heard it years ago, and it meant a lot to me then, and it still does. It is very true. So pressure is a privilege. Embrace it. And for us, advocacy is a privilege. Embrace it.
I like there's no crying in advocacy.
No crying.
That's a T-shirt.
Okay, so if you got some quotes, we can throw them out there.
I could do an entire T-shirt line on advocacy.
And I want to keep today light. I want to get the dialogue going.
I would love to hear about this call you had yesterday.
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of stuff on the side. Obviously, getting into the call center more and more. I've been listening to the homeowners when they're calling in. I've been listening to how our call center responds to them, how we script them. Happened to get a call come in around 3 o'clock yesterday. And it was a short call. I wasn't exactly happy with the operator's response, but she did an okay job. And different callers mesh with different operators, their style. If they have really good on call experience, the call goes well. The script gets done very well, and we capture information. But this one in particular, the guy was guarded. He was kind of pressing the call center on what is this delivery? What is this urgent delivery? That why do I have a sticker on my house? So the call center, we're trying to help them.
Oomph and odd.
Yeah, it's an
They're
odd
very
thing.
Oomph and odd is kind of my answer.
Half of the calls they come in, yep, give me the tracking number. Okay, repeat it. The whole thing goes down, and then they say, okay, am I interested? No, I got it covered. I'm still finding ways to reach out, even for the callers that don't book an appointment, that don't want the advocate, that don't want the meeting package, the educational material, a chance to talk to you who tagged the home. So call came in 3. I listened to it, and then I said, after listening to it, I said, you know what? This guy has some questions. I'm going to call him. I called him right out of the blue. Didn't even know his name. I didn't have the tracking number because he didn't provide it. Get on the phone with him and told him who I was. I'm Derek Kelly. I'm the CEO of Home Advocates. You just called our call center 10 minutes ago, and just calling to, ask if you're all right and answer any questions you had. And he said, yeah, somebody just tagged my house literally 25 minutes ago, and they drove away. I saw them, and I said, well, okay, great. Yeah, I can help you with that. So I got his name. I got the tracking number, found out who tagged it, which happened to be Mr. Love. And I had a conversation, and I qualified this guy for about 30 minutes on the phone. We had a great conversation. Then it's been a while because I haven't been as proactive with talking to people and calling. So I kind of took yesterday to really start calling a little more and getting out of myself and just reaching out to people, because even me, who loves to do it, sometimes gets stalled or stuck. So I just took it upon myself to talk to this guy, and we had a great conversation. I talked up Steve and what he does and what we do, and just combined it to hopefully get an appointment.
So this goes back to the Bob Arum thing, right? That you like to show. What was the icebreaker that got him to?
Right? Well, first things first, I said, well, he said, who are you guys? I said, we're Home Advocates. I said, you can Google us. He Googled us. It came right up. Number 1, I said, hey, we're at the top of page 1 on Google. If you just Google us, we're right there. Our advocates are listed on page 1. This is what we do. We try to help homeowners who have missed payments, need some counsel, need some guidance. We have a lot of materials, educational. We have information on what the bank does, kind of the secret sauce. And I just talked very genuine about what we do. And this guy was like, you know what? That's great. So he went through his scenario and what's going on with him. And I don't want to get into all the details. I might have Steve come on, because Steve hopefully called him, because I gave Steve his contact number and a little bit of information.
Wait, we can do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this goes deeper. There you go, Stevie.
Yeah, Steve, if you're on the call, and you can chime in here anytime. I'm gonna unmute Steve.
He is.
So.
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hi, Steve. Good morning.
Hi. I did talk to him at length. He's more than just missed payments.
I know.
Most of our people, they don't make payments. That's why we tag them. In his case, he didn't even know he had missed payments because apparently there was some fraud involved. Someone, and he even has a suspicion who it is, apparently took a loan out in his name. And so he really needs an attorney. And so I called my attorney friend, who gave me the name of someone and number of someone that he might call. And so he was going to do that afterwards. And I was going to call him back again today to find out what's going on. But the guy is substantial. He has money.
Yeah.
He has a sale date coming up. But worst case scenario, he can just pay it off.
He can reinstate, correct?
Cure.
Yeah.
Cure.
Correct term.
Okay.
The correct term is cure.
Yeah. He's got money, but he's got some legal problems with this other guy that he's got to get worked out.
Yeah.
Which I think is beyond the scope of what we do.
No, actually, we have attorneys, Steve. We have people who do insurance. We're actually a very well-rounded group these days.
Yeah.
One of the things that we have strived for, especially for this group, and I'm going to add a link because I'm sure we have people that have been on previous calls that are previous monster people. This group is unique. I wanted someone who could do insurance and 401ks. I wanted you, Steve, doing, RIAs where I knew I could trust you with investors. We recently added an attorney who's also
real estate
a broker who actually knows. There are literally 4 of them in California. That's how unique, like you're literally the David Copperfield of what you are. Like you are that far. So I've actually created that on purpose. And if that person can't help you, we have referrals. We have people in every market now. And because of we're planning on doing this for all the dead leads. We're actually going to do a bulk text and jam them back.
We got all their numbers from the call center.
Yeah, we're going to jam them all back to DK.
Yep.
And like, this is over.
Yeah.
This is over.
Yep.
We're going to go and take down the market.
Yep.
And I love that you did the right thing.
And it was a cold call. And I don't do many cold calls. But Steve, how was the initial conversation? Because again, you're still, we don't recommend doing this over the phone, correct?
This
is a face-to-face talk. But for the situation that I had where I'm trying to at least invite him into the mix as far as what we do, our advocacy, did it work? You got the contact with him, you had the conversation, you did listen, you did offer some advice and direction.
What he wants to do first, and I'm supposed to call him back today, is talk to an attorney. He thinks that needs to be his first, and I'd like to get the other attorneys. I
can literally name 2 right off the bat. One of them's in Indio, the investor guy that we know, Steve.
Miles says he can file a lawsuit, get a temporary injunction. While fighting.
We can get you to Catalina Collins in San Jose. She knows her stuff.
Yep.
Completely knows her stuff.
Yeah.
She's a beast.
Yep.
But out in Indio is why can't I think of his name? Steve? He's an investor. He used to do all the events back in the day. But he's
he has
dual
that
threat. It's such a limited field of, there's a big difference between being an attorney and an agent, or a broker and an attorney, but to be
both.
I did one first, and what I care about is being an agent first, so you understand boots on the ground, and then secondly, I want you to be an attorney.
Sure.
And I think in Catalina's case up in San Jose, and I'm trying to think of the guy's name out in Indio, because I've done his events.
Yeah.
I've done her events. Like, these are very unique people in California.
Sure.
Right? So I agree with Miles. Not Fred Solomon, but that's very cute, Miles.
So Steve, you talked to him, you referred him out, you're going to follow up. Okay.
Yeah, and could I get the name of those, or could you text me the names and numbers of those other attorneys?
I'll send you
text me
information.
So again, this is the collaboration that we're trying to create. This is the cooperation within the group. Questions, what do I do? You come on the coaching call, you throw it out there to 27 people. Somebody's got an answer.
It's no different than a 401k. I got to do a 1031 exchange. I got to do. Sally would jump on that crap without even batting an eye.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I got a mortgage issue.
Yeah.
Normally Freddie would be here. He'd be jumping on that and get you referred. Like, that's the idea of this group, right?
Yeah. So the Thursday, we want everybody participating. please, you got something to say? You got, please.
This is more unique than
this is
Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday.
I want to create something different.
Things.
I want to create everyone is welcome to comment. Everyone is welcome to role play. I invite you all to unmute, and we do need some semblance of facilitation, and that's where Lee and I come in. So Steve, thank you for tagging 1 and following up 2. I did, play a small part, but I'm going to do that more and more because I really want everyone to succeed. I want to see the tagging. I believe in it. I know it works. It's not going to always be perfect. It's not a perfect, well-oiled machine. It never will be. Every call center experiences times when, again, we're paying somebody good money on a monthly basis to take our calls and to book these appointments and to qualify these homeowners.
I think it goes back to, look, I don't mind sending out 1,500 text blasts since we've started this mess.
No, yeah.
But I need, the 107 or 8 of you in the platinum group.
Yeah.
You got to step up and be pretty big people.
Yeah.
And do the right thing.
Sure.
Right. I'll say it again because Miles is on the call. Like, I expect you to be like Miles's kid. Like, I expect you.
Yeah.
To be that legit.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about the next group that comes in that's going to pay the
well,
I don't mean it that way.
We do care about them, but this group is special because they were here when we started the company. They helped us get going. They gave us ideas. They gave us not only inspiration, but they let us, not going to say guinea pig, but again, this was a pilot program, and the red as well. We know content is king. We know online presence, but still, what I believe in, the face-to-face, getting, FaceTime matters. FaceTime with these homeowners, FaceTime with each other matters. We've had people come down and visit us here. We've gone out and we've broken bread with many of our members, and that's really at the end of the day, that's what's going to matter. What we do for each other. And again, it's a team. It's that team mentality. It really is. And I've been on teams, both sports and business. I know how to work. I've been on crews. I've done construction back in the day. I know what it takes. One person has one specific skill. And you combine it with everyone else's, and you have a nice finished product, hopefully at the end of the day. So, Antonio, thank you. We trust you too? Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I trust everyone on this call. Everybody by far has done the right thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is a very unique, and I use the term, and I don't mean it derogatorily. You are a very lovely Kool-Aid drinking group. Like, you guys are all in on the process. And by the way, Tina, you're the only one who hasn't rescheduled. And Antonio, there's Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, I have rescheduled. I sent you an email. It's today, I think, at 11:30.
Thank you. I have a keyboard again. I'm very happy.
Tina, I did send you an email. Are you getting my emails?
I wasn't. I found them in junk.
Yeah,
I did. Hey guys, did you hear that Black Knight just sold for $13.1 billion?
Who did?
Black Knight.
Black Knight.
Jeez.
Wow.
Who bought him?
Oh, God.
ICE. Gosh, I just had the article up here, but yeah.
All right.
They don't know. It's one of the largest servicers, and they say it's the next domino. So anybody that knows anything about that, chime in. That could be.
I do actually. My first job after my dad's company was with a company that ultimately got bought out by GMAC. Right. So I worked for a company called Homecomings. So during downturns, as an asset manager, you work for a servicer, right? My company was Homecomings.
Okay.
I was a servicer. And GMAC bought it out, turned it into a loan division.
Mm-hmm.
So watch this happen with Black Knight or any of these companies.
So here's what it says. It says that Intercontinental Exchange, a software and data company whose mini empire includes ICE Mortgage Technology, has blocked Black Knight. The $13.1 billion mega deal was announced in a press release Wednesday. The move between what are generally regarded as the two biggest suppliers of mortgage loan origination software is the latest domino to fall in the mortgage market, careening off the rails.
So look at it as a breakdown, Tina.
Yeah.
They're going to take the servicing, which will give them passive on the money they invested. When the market swings back up, they're back to origination. And that gives them the swing. So, they Homecomings, when I worked for them, was a straight servicer. Like all we did, we were like straight property managers and asset managers.
So they'll double dip.
GMAC literally came in, took us to a floor of a building and go, we're going to originate loans from right here.
Wow.
We just bought your company for this one reason. Because servicers are also loan originators and servicers. So this makes a lot of sense to me in a very weird way. It's a very, again, another indicator of the market shift of, hey, we think there's going to be a lot of foreclosures and we think the market's going to go in a different direction. So we're going to go in the servicing direction and then we're going to swing it the other way in probably 5 years or so and start originating loans.
No.
And that's about usually how it works out. That would not be, well, 13 billion that's big money. I mean, I didn't even think Twitter was worth 42 billion, but you know, I don't know. I've had a really weird week with the news. So, and by the way, for everybody who got baited in on the craziness of yesterday, it's Catherine.
What's Catherine doing?
Camera.
Hi, Catherine.
Catherine, are you naked?
What are you doing, Catherine?
I don't know. We're all watching.
Is she doing aerobics?
Jeans. They look like jeans.
She's walking. No, she's walking.
And then she turned it off. Ah!
We saw you,
what
Catherine.
A great moment! That would have been the greatest moment of all time, Catherine.
I would have loved to see some aerobics or exercise. Exercise, please, people.
Those could have been. Those could have been. Well, you have Lululemons. Those are. They look very Lululemon.
Catherine, good morning. Catherine, say hello. Don't be embarrassed.
Don't worry about it.
Hi, Catherine.
Not know that.
You're talking to me?
Hi.
I am. We saw your camera. We saw your movement. I thought you were trying to
Are they
come in
Lululemon?
and say hello.
Are you talking to me?
I am.
We are.
We
You're-
just
you're my-
we saw you and camera was.
we saw your Lululemons.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm on candid camera here.
You were on camera. How are you today, Catherine?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm taking my husband to the gym.
And husband Jim. Good morning,
Hi, Jim. Your wife is beautiful, Jim.
Haley, the
Yes,
news is,
Tina.
the news is really ramping up on a lot of stuff, causing a lot of scare tactics. I seen a article the other day, and it was showing the decline in interest rates. The rise. And in January, the interest rate was 3.22, and it bought you about for a $3,500 mortgage payment. You had purchasing power of about 807,000. In April, it's now at 5.11, and your purchasing power is now 643.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a huge.
And I even take it back to what I was commenting about yesterday in the email. Yes, I was being a little salacious with the Roe v. Wade is changing real estate prices, but there's so much. I watch the news every day. Like it's half of my day completely every time. Right?
Yeah.
We're scaring people into action.
Is that what we want to do? Is that obviously that's a good marketing ploy or tactic?
Well, it's not a bad look. I say it all the time. This week for everyone, we're doing foreclosures. I'm not scaring anybody. I could have done it salaciously a few weeks ago. Yeah. Right when it wasn't really that market. When we weren't at 600% or 100%.
Well, people should be a little nervous, a little scared. I just talked to Lou from South Park. Remember Louie? just bought a home because he's got 2 dogs and needs a backyard. And people buy for different reasons. People are even though the interest rates are going up. And I just asked him. I was like, well, so what'd you get? Well, how much is your mortgage now per month? What'd you get? And he was like, oh man, my mortgage is going to be about $5,800 a month, you know. And I'm just like, wow. Even with 20% down, I mean, that's a big monthly mortgage payment for. Yeah, if you have that income level, you're making 6 figures. It's probably manageable, but for somebody that's just husband wife not really making.
I'll keep going back to it.
A big income.
If I was making, let's just say that I gave this all up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. All right. I can go back to a bank. They're going to pay me
$35 an hour.
60, 70, 80,000 a year.
Yeah.
With my bennies and all the other packages. So let's say I'm making just under 6 figures.
Yeah.
I can't afford any of this.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
No.
All right. But I don't know what people are doing to afford what they're doing. And what I've seen, at least in my case, what I've seen for me, crime is ramping up. Homelessness is ramping. We were just talking about it before we started this call. I go, all right, so I want to go buy that condo right next to the stadium for $2.5 million with the view to Petco, but you've got porta potties and a homeless encampment right below my building. Yeah. And I got to be okay with it. Where does this all end? I mean, and I'm not trying to be a jerk. I completely understand that most of the issues.
It's a terrible issue. It's
a mental-based issue. Marvin and I talk about it constantly. Like this is.
Yeah. These are real people. I mean, they are real. You see them. But get it? Do you know anybody that's ever been homeless? I mean,
yes,
actually,
I do. And I keep saying that our society, our dollar, everything is this giant zit that we've been putting off since about 1980 something.
Yeah.
And we're literally reaching a point where we got to squeeze and pop this bad boy.
Oof.
And see.
Not the best metaphor.
That's a great metaphor.
Oof.
Because the reality is the dollar is going to crash.
Yeah.
And it's going to crash hard. And so going back to what Brendan said when we first recorded, Michael Burry's a freaking genius.
Yeah.
But the 10-year treasury has never lost money until, it's never had an issue until this year. And Michael Burry, a year ago, went on Twitter and went, oh no, let me explain what my documents tell me. Right? Like his little Rain Man mind.
Dollar's not worth
This is all going sideways.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bet against it.
Yeah.
Nobody has bought and short on the 10-year treasury ever. Okay, this is the guy who bet against the real estate market in 2006 for 2007.
Yeah.
In 2021, he bet against the 10-year.
Yeah.
He nailed it to make another $300 billion or whatever crazy money he makes. I keep saying it, why do we look at these people like idiots?
He's a mad genius.
Well,
he seems a little.
He's slightly like me. Yeah, he's a lot
on the what do they call it?
I have better people skills than him.
On the spectrum.
Yeah, he's on the spectrum.
You could be on that spectrum.
No, I'm on the spectrum.
Are you on the spectrum?
I am on the spectrum. We've had this discussion. I'm definitely on the spectrum.
Is Lee on the spectrum? Raise your hands.
He doesn't turn everything off, Brendan. What he does, he got pissed off.
Yes.
Because people say he doesn't tell people about what he's doing. So he opens a Twitter account under a fake name.
I know.
Sends it out, then turns off the Twitter account, which strangely I would do something like, and I know why you do that. Because when I send out an email going, hey, look, here's the trend I see. And all it takes is 1 or 2 people when you don't have a strong feeling about yourself like he does to say,
sure,
you're a piece of crap. Right. I guarantee Burry's heard everything that I've heard when I say my craziness.
And how do you follow him? That's what Brendan wants to know.
There's an easy website for that. Just type in Michael Burry Twitter. There's a person who compiles his Twitter accounts.
Okay. And is it verified that it's him?
Yeah, no. Okay. This is this is a guy who actually follows, finds the accounts, compiles the Burry stuff, and it's also on YouTube as well. It's part of my daily viewing. So in my daily feed, I try to watch Burry and love it. Like, Burry is possibly the greatest mad genius of all time. I would like to put myself in maybe 10th place.
Wow, 10th. That's very humble of you.
Normally I'd say 2, but
I know you would.
I know. But Burry is way smarter.
I know. All right, so load up the questions. We're talking conversions. We're talking getting together with these homeowners face to face.
And we're talking about this market,
and
right?
The market
like
as
this
well.
is a really changing, scary market. Like, people are really getting nervous.
Yeah.
People are taking action.
Yeah.
Right? People are responding to the tags. People are really getting involved. So what we've talked about this week, like this week's message is, I got to be aware of the market.
Yeah.
I got to be on my coaching calls. I got to be aware of what's going on in the news. And if you think it's crazy for me to say Roe v. Wade doesn't change the value of real estate, most assuredly, much like Will Smith's slap, it has nothing to do with what it's physically doing. It's the tempo and the mood of what you're dealing with. When you're talking 70% of the market being against a Supreme Court decision, how does that temperament, like, okay, let's say you got a meeting.
Sure.
All right. You've been watching Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
You're upset. Am I going to have an easier or a harder conversion? And I know you guys think this is crazy, but if you don't think that there's a psychology to being aware of the people you're dealing with when you go in there, or let's go with the Will Smith. Did you see the thing last night on the Academy? Oh my God.
Everyone's talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think? There's my icebreaker. Right?
Well, I think part of being good and talking to people, converting, having good conversations is keeping up with the news, having a conversation starters. What's going on in the news? Both Lee and I love different sports. He loves boxing. I love basketball. I love watching it. It's playoff time, and there's been some great games on it, and just knowing a little bit about everything. Hockey, we talk about playoff hockey. There was some great hockey. Find something to talk on. Doesn't matter if it's current news.
I'll give a really easy one. Last week or the week before on a scoot, right? Just scooting around, stopping at my local stops with the people that I actually know, the kid I teach marketing to. Like, did you hear there was a shooting in the gas lamp like the other night?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And the big story piece, because I've talked to Marvin about, like,
and that'll definitely spark interest. It'll spark conversation.
It's ever happened in the gas lamp.
Yeah. That's surprising.
That picked up 2 people. Around
a comment here,
and
a comment there.
Now it's comments.
Now it's comments. It's conversation. Yeah. I used to read the newspaper every single day, and just to see what's going on in the world. Read a magazine. Read something on real estate. Really, just have that information. Have that conversation generator, if that's the word.
It is.
So the more you read, the more you know, the more you can speak on.
If you guys saw my daily email feed,
you do your thing where you're keeping up on I watch you go from one subject to another. I'm on the real estate, now I'm on world events, now I'm on celebrity, know a little bit about everything, be able to comment, be able to understand what somebody's talking about, whether they're sports fans, whether they go to flower shows, whether they're into fashion. You got to know a little bit of everything. As a sales guy, I try to just keep my knowledge on the world and what's going on, so I can make those comments, so I can interject myself into the conversation to be a part of it. I want to involve myself. I want to have the back and forth. I want the dialogue.
Do
you agree? Should we be doing that?
Completely, right? I joke all the time. I know every event in San Diego for the next 3 days.
Yeah. Concerts, rock,
whatever,
music.
I don't know what the conversation I lack such people skills that I have to be the expert of.
I know
everything.
Yeah.
And yes, it sounds exhausting, but let's take Antonio, right?
Yeah.
What's going on in the South Bay? When's the next Lobster Fest? Like, get them over to the right. Like, you got to be the expert for your area.
And if you can touch a subject, some type of subject matter that is of interest to whomever you're talking to, and specifically these homeowners, what's the
icebreaker?
Any icebreaker, the bank.
I mean, let's make it real simple. Because I know is she on the call? Let's take Tina Herman, right?
Yeah.
Are you aware of the Disney war with your governor, right? Like, that's an icebreaker.
Yeah.
Well, how does that affect people who have jobs? I don't know. I know that 17,000 people have a job over at Disney.
Yeah.
And so if they're telling you that they're unhappy and they want to sell because Governor Ron DeSantos is doing the anti-gay thing, and they're all pissed off and there's a war and Disney's going to lay off people or whatever that's going to turn out to be.
Yeah.
That's my job.
But obviously, be careful. We're not talking politics. We're not talking religion. And just
I think you can
the dinner conversations.
Look, I agree with the big three, right? I agree.
Let's go up. Let's tell them just maybe politics.
Hey,
no.
How's your job going?
Yeah.
Is it being affected by what governor is doing? That's it.
Yeah.
Right? No, everything's good. I just, the money's not right and I can't. Like, you got to be able to have that conversation
60,
at some point.
Yeah, 60, Tina.
Thank you, Tina. It is about 60,000 people, right? Yeah. But let's say that Disney's like, F this. We're pulling up and we're going to go stick it in Ohio.
Yeah.
We're just going to go rebuild 5 parks in Ohio.
Wow.
Right.
Disney in Ohio.
Sure they could.
They could.
Or Chicago.
Yeah.
Central.
Sure.
Texas. Plenty of land.
I'm surprised they haven't done that. I'm surprised Disney hasn't like merged with the Six Flags or some of the bigger. Could you see Disney going on like a Carney special?
They could. They've tried.
Have they tried to be
in Paris? They failed in.
Yeah.
Well, I know this. Again, this is my job.
Yeah.
My job is to know these things about here's one of the biggest things that you guys don't get about me. It's not my job to know your market. It's my job to know all of them.
Yeah.
Like obsessively.
I know. Yeah.
There is so much crap rolling around in my head that I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I just go, did you know that Kim Kardashian is dating Pete from like SNL? Yeah. Like, that's the most complete innocuous
good
word.
Doctor.
T. Miller.
Doctor.
Innocuous. It's complete nonsense.
Yeah.
But if I'm having a conversation with somebody, can you believe Pete Davidson is sleeping with Kim Kardashian? Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That little troll from Staten Island. By the way, I know he's from Staten Island. Innocuous is completely a word. Google it, T. Miller. I'm on this.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
Oh my God! If I nail this, T's gonna check it right now, and I guarantee I'm on. Innocuous, I think is correct. She's gonna correct me if I'm wrong.
Please, T. Miller.
Somebody's gonna tell me, but it's just nonsense.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But if I'm stopping, scooting, like, oh my God, and I'm talking to like my guy about marketing, and oh my God, Pete Davidson is with a Kardashian instead of Kanye West. Like, how did a dude from Staten Island do that? That leads to a conversation. That leads to a conversation.
Okay. Your thoughts, anybody, on the subject matter today, conversions. We're going to open up a little early today. Oh, it's 9:50 already.
No, we killed it.
This call flies by.
No, wait, but this is a good conversation. I think
I know this, but I want to hear. I want more from the group. We're talking a lot. Please open it up right now. Please. Please, here we go.
Hold on, I'm going to take off the